My name is Evan. This is the Canyon Carver. Let's go rip some canyons. Welcome to the bottom of Los Flores, one of my favorite driving roads. I'm in my 1999 Carrera C2 that's been modified for canyons, and let's do it. Now, it did rain last night, so there could be some rocks and some puddles of water, but we're gonna just take it easy and think of me as your Malibu Canyon tour guide. I've been driving these roads for about 15 years, so I'm pretty used to whatever these roads can throw at me, but you never know. Anyways, the bottom of this hill gives you a little taste for what's to come. Beautiful switchbacks, and everything is banked quite nicely. There's this school that's going to be coming up on the right hand side. Don't blast past it. There's absolutely no reason to do that. Once we get past the school though, it's game on. So we're gonna take things down into second gear and we're gonna gun it. On the brakes. In this car, you're pretty much just in second and third. And in this first bit, really just second. Sorry for the rattles and vibrations. This car has a roll cage and you know, a bunch of bushings and stuff like that, which give it a little bit more NVH. Love these turns here. Gives you a great opportunity to practice your heel toe downshifting. This particular corner that I just went up right there, if your car doesn't have an LSD, you're not going to be able to put your power down. And here we go, continue the winding up. Look at that view, absolutely gorgeous. But don't look too closely, because there would be some pretty a pretty bad fall if you were to go off there. I think now is actually a good time to mention that, you know, canyon driving is not about going 10/10ths. You hear about so many horror stories. You know, there's a guy coming down the mountain with his surfboard right there. No reason to ruin that guy's day. Driving in the canyons can be a very peaceful, relaxing experience and safe experience, but really only if you keep it at like 7/10ths. There's no reason to push it this hard out on the street. You can always do a track day. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's open it back up a little bit. Nice and technical. The tires on this car, they're Pilot Sport 4S's. They're nearing the end of their life and it's a little damp, so I'm starting to feel a little bit of understeer. That's okay. Beautiful. Another opportunity for a heel toe. Yeah. This car has no traction control, no stability control. In fact, there's a cable that's connecting the throttle pedal to the throttle body. So that's a throttle by cable car. Most every new car is throttled by wire. So that's what allows for traction control and stuff like that. Here we go. This is a really exciting corner right here. Hard on the brakes. Heel toe into second. Turn it in. Feet in the gas. It's very wet here, so I'm not going to go too crazy. Up the hill. And there's someone's house here. Don't fly into it. That would be no good. And we're nearing the top of this road right now. There's one more corner that's similar to the last one I just did. Hard on the brakes. I'm just going to keep it in third. It's very wet. not a race. And we're nearing the end here, so we'll just cool down the car a little bit. And you are gonna be met with the most spectacular view. Get ready. Oh, that's cool. Couple Miatas here, just ripping the canyons in the morning. Very nice. Imagine that would be a pretty fun car to drive. And here we are. To the left here is a fire station, and straight ahead is one of the best views in the canyons. Here we are at the top of Los Flores, and you're met with this absolutely breathtaking view. In fact, I think this is one of the best views up in the canyons here. Some of the coolest houses, but can't think about that right now. Gotta get on it. Here we go. And remember not to go over the yellow line, people. That's not cool. I am going to be very cautious of rocks and boulders that have fallen down because it rained last night. In fact, if you're a novice driver, just don't go up in the canyons the day after it rains. Just there's no reason to get a flat tire up here. It's no fun. Look at that. I believe this road is called Rambla Pacifico. And it's real fun. You can absolutely fly up here in a really fast car. But be careful of bicyclists, because that would not be good. You don't want to hit them. So this is basically the highest point of this road here, and from this point on it goes downhill. There's actually a really cool cave that's located right here. Bunch of kids like smoking stuff over there. Those days are behind me, but I just am here for the views. Views on views. Bunch of cool spots to pull over if you're with a group of cars and take some pictures and stuff, but we're gonna just keep on cruising. So like I said a few seconds ago, from this point on, it starts going downhill, and that is the case. I just had to pause at this turn because it's absolutely stunning. I'll show you what we're working with here. Turn this thing around. Got this epic turn here. Beautiful rocks. And then you can just rip it out of this corner. But the real special spot is right over here. Take a look at that. Absolutely stunning. It looks like we got another canyon carver coming down right now. Let's take a look. Very nice. Sounds pretty good. Anyways, I wanted to give a little tour of my canyon toy. This is a 1999 996 C2 that is going to be extremely filthy when I get out of here. You know, there's a lot I can say about this car. I'll give you some of the highlights. It weighs under 3,000 pounds. It has just over 300 horsepower. I've fiddled around with almost, you know, every aspect of the car to make sure that it's a reliable, fun canyon car, and it can do track days as well. But let's start at the front and work our way back. At the front, the whole car has been PPF'd, you know, to avoid any rock chips and stuff like that. The car was detailed by my best friend Taylor, who is known as Bay Area Detail up in the Bay Area. Car has brakes that I got from as a kit off FCP Euro. I know it has Frodo race pads. They do squeak quite a lot when you're on it hard. In the rear, same brake kit. As far as exhaust goes, everyone asks me about it. I basically have what's known as a Pfister hack, and that is a slight muffler bypass, and this car has 200 cell race cats. The car for suspension has Bilstein B8s along with H&R springs, and they seem to do just fine. This car has a transmission insert to allow it to be have a little bit finer shift action. As far as shifter goes, this is a 997 GT3 shifter, and I love it. You know, there are other shifters out there, but they don't feel period correct. As you can see, a lot of the fun stuff is taking place inside. So we did a center console delete, which just kind of clears out some storage that's down here. Threw in a Momo Mod 007 steering wheel, which is the closest thing you can get to a cup wheel. I'd say like the most special part about the interior are these beautiful 996 GT3 Club Sport seats with P1 Designs large houndstooth insert. A little hard to see with this light, but I really like it. I also have roof floor mats. That adds about 5 or 6 horsepower. A fire suppression device, and some roof pedals for that lovely heel toe downshifting. This car also has a Titan Motorsports roll cage, which is pretty cool. And I think that pretty much summarizes the interior here. Under the hood, we have the famous or infamous M96 3.4 liter flat 6. This one had the IMS bearings taken care of, and this car has a, I believe that's a flat 6 Innovations intake resonator bypass and a different air filter just for a little more sound. The car also has some spacers from H&R just to help these pretty cool 2-piece BBS Sport Classic 2 wheels to fit a little bit more flush. I think it looks pretty good, but I am on the hunt for some new wheels. Fun fact about these, in 1999, that was the only year that these amber fronts were available, and after that they switched to either clear, and then eventually there was a 996.2 iteration of the headlights. At the end of the day, a 996, they've had a lot of hate over the years, but I believe they're wonderful. They drive so great. The early ones are super raw, very lightweight. I really haven't had any major reliability issues with it yet. The car only has 56,000 miles, but yeah, I love it. It's been fantastic. If you are going to get one, make sure you do your research and get one that's been well taken care of. I'm going to take in the view one last moment here, and we're going to be on our way. All right, so that was a nice little pit stop, but there were consequences. My shoes got absolutely ruined, and tires got a lot of mud on them. Anyways, back at it. Now we're continuing our downhill ascent on Piuma. Here we go. Really cool rock formation there. And just as a reminder, it's really quite damp and sketchy here, so we're not going all out. We are just going for a nice Saturday morning cruise. Biker, I'm going to slow down a little bit. I really like how the Bilsteins and H&R springs soak up the bumps in this car. Certainly it's not the most expensive option that's available for this car. There's Ohlins and KWs and all sorts of fancy stuff, JRZ, but I'm happy with this setup for the cost. And you know, I could decide to go a little crazier in the future, but for right now I'm quite happy with the setup. I think I will do some sway bars. This car has Pilot Sport 4S's, which is way grippier than anything that was available back in the day, even like a cup tire. And so I think it could use a little bit more body control on some faster pace stuff. I mean, but right here feels good. I know where the wheels are. The steering wheel is smaller than stock, and I don't need very much input to get the car to turn at all. Right now I can tell you that my brakes are pretty cool. You know, we're not going as fast as I need to be in order for the brakes to be at their full potential. But, you know, if you haven't driven a 911, they have a really unique feel. What I mean by that is the front end is super light, all the weight's in the rear, and the steering is really direct. It's totally different than like my other car, which is a C63, where there's so much weight in the front end. So here we go. This is a really famous stopping point right here. I've stopped here a million times, but this car's kind of low and it's muddy. There's that beautiful view again. It's a crazy hairpin. Someone with a lot more skill than me could drift that whole thing, but not me. I will caution you, once you get past that point there, you really do need to be careful of rocks falling on the right-hand side here. So I'm gonna take it easy, especially around these blind corners. Watch, there's gonna be some, no, there's not that much right now. But from my experience, this side is very prone to rock fall, especially after a rain. This car is gonna need a bath after this run, I'll tell you that. Beautiful views. I don't know if it comes up on camera, but I can actually see steam coming off the road. Oh, it's stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. You know, some people like to meditate, some people like to go shooting, some people like to go for a run. I like to carve canyons. Hard on the brakes. Yep, they work. Hard on the brakes, watch those rocks. You know, I am aware that this car has absolutely no aids to help me, and I think that most drivers who are driving around in modern cars have come to really lean on them, especially when cars are making so much power nowadays. I mean, you could drive a Hellcat with 700 plus horsepower, and that's crazy, man. So what I love about driving a raw car like this is that it really teaches you what's capable and what's not. And a car like this was built from the factory to have really good chassis balance, and it's not relying on any electronic aids. So it's wonderful. Now there is some sort of hiking trail here. I've never done it. I've thought about it, but every time I'm here, I just want to go driving. We're almost down towards the bottom here. And usually by this point, I'm not really going too quickly anymore. I'm just trying to cool down the car and just enjoy the views. Well, thanks so much for coming on a ride with me. This is the Canyon Carver. Please like and subscribe the video, comment if you have any suggestions, and you can find me on Instagram at the Canyon Carver. Have a good day, everyone. Take it easy. Bye.